I feel like we need a reminder on how devil fruits work. Now that we've had Vegapunk pretty much tell us how they work, it seems like there's still a lot of people mistaking on how they work. I'll put it plainly here. There is no limit to devil fruits. Anything you think a fruit can do, it can do it. Only if you believe it can. That sounds childish, but that's how Oda wants his power system to work. It sounds broken, and it is. The question that seems to have broken the community is, can Bonnie's fruit just copy any fruit or do whatever she wants? The answer is yes. Can she copy Blackbeard's fruit? Yes. Can she copy Akainu's fruit? Yes. It's a bullet you're gonna have to bite. The second you doubt that she could do X with her ability means you've lost the ability to do it if you had her power. What Oda is trying to do is not have a cap on his power system. He wants to be free with it. He never really tells us exactly how a fruit works. The main limits a fruit has is the person wielding its imagination. It's the reason we see people do wacky things with their fruits that most of us wouldn't think they could do, because we're not imagining hard enough. Robin can create clones of herself with the flower fruit. Kaido can move islands with his clouds. Kaido's crew does weird stuff as dinosaurs because they imagine that's how dinosaurs work. There are a lot of examples of people doing weird things with their fruit that many people wouldn't think of doing. That's why Luffy is really powerful. He always has a good imagination of what his fruit can do. Before we got Gear 5, he kept thinking of new ways to use his fruit. I assume that's how he came up with the Red Hawk attacks, or any attack that uses fire. I should technically say belief and imagination, since you also have to believe it'll actually work. We don't know how far Luffy can stretch. I know in an interview Oda said like 50 Gomus or whatever, and Gomu isn't a real unit of measure, but I think Luffy doesn't actually have a limit how far he can stretch. His limit is just how far he thinks he can. So yes, the big scary thing that everyone is talking about, Bonnie's fruit is broken, but so is everyone else's. Can Bonnie do any future she wants? Yes, if she can believe it. But this also means all fruits are busted. Just people don't use them effectively. That's what Oda's been trying to show us. We've all done this. We see a person use a devil fruit and go, why won't they do X with their fruit? It's because they lack the imagination and belief to do it. You can take anyone in the verse and make them broken. Foxy could, in theory, make his slow effect last as long as he wants. He probably imagines he can't do that. And Boa telling Blackbeard even if he took her power, he won't be able to undo the petrification. But who knows if that's actually true. It could just be she installed a belief that it wouldn't work, so it wouldn't work since she told him that. But anyway, now that I said all that, there is actually a limit to Oda's seemingly broken system. You do need the energy to do the insane stuff. Luffy needs to eat constantly to have his energy to do the abilities he does. Just because he could technically turn the entire world to rubber doesn't mean he has the energy to do it. Law can do insane stuff with his fruit, but it takes a lot of energy. Could he put a room around the world? Yes, but he doesn't have the energy to do it. So the limit to the devil fruits is how much energy you have, which is a double-edged sword for us. Since Oda is the one choosing how much energy people have, it sometimes feels wonky when people are doing insane things for a long period of time, like the issue we have now. We don't know how long Gear 5 lasts and what the downsides are, if any. When he made Gear 4, we knew the limits, so it's kind of sucks having Oda being the one to pick and choose how long things can last. That's the downside of having a no-limit power system. We, the audience, don't really know how things work until Oda decides he's ready to do whatever he wants to do. Also, when I say the user has to imagine and believe they have to do something, I mean they have to have zero doubt they can do it. I know I keep saying imagine X person can do it, but it's not as easy as just thinking something and boom, it happens. But I don't know how to explain having a 100% belief in something with no shred of doubt, so hopefully you know what I mean. Also, seawater. Now, you could argue that it's just a myth that devil fruit users can't swim, so the users believe it. But I'll believe that's one hard rule Oda has that he wouldn't change. Also, Haki being able to stop powers, which I always thought would be a thing. It took Oda forever to confirm that. As soon as I saw Sugar turning people into toys, I knew there had to be another way to get out of it, other than knocking her out. If Sugar touched Kaido, or any of the Emperors, it wouldn't do anything to them. So the main thing to take away from this video is if you ever have the question if a devil fruit user can do something with their fruit, the answer is always just a flat out yes, they can do it. But depending on how big of a scale you're thinking, probably unlikely they will be strong enough and have the energy to do it. So instead of asking, can they do X? We should be asking, will they do X eventually?